Auction Events at 954-300-7219 or visit their website at iconicsilentauctions.com.
Welcome to the 2-Minute Warning, a sports talk platform that will examine current issues in the world of sports, the athletes, and the communities they impact. With your host, former NFL star Benny Blades. Benny will be speaking with both current and former athletes, asking the questions about the lessons they've learned on their journey and how they impact the community. Call into the show now at 888-565-1470. Mr. Blades, are you ready?
Good evening and welcome to another show. I'm your host, Benny Blades, and we just led off. Like I said, we can call in and bid on one of these nice paraphernalia from Icon Sports. You can call 2-Minute Warning with Benny Blades at gmail.com. Please, all of those proceeds go to help the Benny Blades Foundation for underprivileged kids. And so your support is very much welcome. Today I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk to Kerry Glenn, former New York Jet, Miami Dolphin. I had the pleasure of playing in a few games with Kerry when he was with the Dolphins, and I tell you what, he's a special teams nightmare. I gotta say that.
Yeah.
He was a nightmare. Welcome to the show, Kerry.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty. What are you doing now?
Well, now I just do a lot of charity work. You know, I go back and forth from Florida to Wisconsin, and I just go out and do charity like your charity and things like that, and Higgy. Go to some of the things that he go to as well. So.
Okay, well, like I always tell people, charity is where it starts. You know, I'm glad you're doing those things.
Yes.
Now, those years, I've always wondered, when people play in New York City.
Yeah.
Because coming out of the University of Miami, I was known as Benny and the Jets. And I said, oh man, that would be nice to go and play in New York City.
It'd have been nice to have you in New York City as a strong safety. What are you talking about? We did not have that strong safety. We had a free safety, but we didn't have a true strong safety. Now see, I would enjoy that actually.
Oh man, you see that? Me and Kerry in the same backfield.
Oh, yeah.
I tell people all the time, but tell me a little bit about how that city was, because back then when you guys were winning, we were just talking off air, about a little, some of the things that go on behind the scenes, in the locker rooms. How was that for you?
As a rookie, it was nice. I mean, I was embraced by a lot of the players. It was my first year with Bud Carson, and I'm sure you know who he is. And Bud would have loved to have you on this, on our team. But yes, he took me under his wing, and he just taught me things that I just actually really didn't know.
Okay.
And he just took me to another level when I played. I mean, the funniest thing about it is that I thought I was going to get cut. I just got into camp, and what ended up happening was that I just got into camp, and then I went to lunch, and I'm coming home from lunch, and I only had like 2 or 3 practices, because I stayed out. I was holding out to get more money.
Okay.
So what ended up happening? He came back. He said, "Kerry, come to my office." And he said, "Bring your playbook."
Look, see, we laugh when we say that, but people don't realize when you have we used to call him the Grim Reaper in Detroit. You know, when he come and knock on that door and say, "Bring your playbook," oh my gosh, am I getting cut? And so I've had a couple of pranks like that played on me. And I was like, wait a minute, am I getting cut here? But you know, I'm glad that worked out for you in New York. You know, that you were able to stay, because you would have never became a Miami Dolphin. I mean, you played up under Mike Westhoff. And, you know, you did such a tremendous job with Mike. I hear you're going to be in his book.
Yes.
Tell the people how
the book. Well, Mike Westhoff's book is going to be interesting. It's very interesting.
I'm sure it is.
But it is truthful. Everything is truthful. One of the I would say one of the things that's going to be in the book is there's a person in which the Dolphins, I can't mention his name right now. There's a person who was a Dolphin. He was a first round draft pick. And this person could not even make a tackle. I have no idea how he was a first round draft pick. I did not want him on the special teams. So I used to come in and do the special teams every week with Mike Westhoff. So I came in one day, Mike was like, "Kerry, the big man want us to put him on the field." I was like, "Who?" He mentioned his name, and I was like, "No, no." He said, I'll tell you what, let's look at the film and we'll see what's going to happen. So what we ended up doing was this right here. Going down on the kickoff, they was double teaming like the guy on the left, the second guy on the left, no matter who it is. So we stuck him in that position. So they was wasting two people on a person that could not make a tackle.
Because he wasn't going to tackle nobody anyway.
No, he wasn't going to make it. So, and so after the first kickoff, he goes down. I'm over there. I made the tackle, and I'm sitting on the bench, and Mike Westhoff goes, "Oh, he said, how did you do out there?" He said, "You know, they double teamed me." "Oh, you got to fight through it. Second, we scored again. And Mike Westhoff goes, "How did you do?" He said, "Yeah, you know, Mike, they double teamed me." He said, "Is there a reason why they're not double teaming Kerry?"
Because you made it fun to be Kerry Glenn, and he's getting all the heat.
Yeah.
You're a little different than me, Kerry, because I was a little bit more boisterous in the locker room. If a guy couldn't play, whether he's a first-round pick or a seventh-round pick, well, I was going to, yeah. Nowadays, I tell people it's called bullying. Mm-hmm. Back then, it was just hazing them because they didn't belong in the locker room.
Yeah.
See, I don't think me and you could have played in today's game, because I'm sorry, they'd have called you in the front office and say, "Kerry, you can't do that. You have to, be mindful that he's a, person also."
But I think we could have, because you know why? We satisfied Coach Shula.
Okay. Well, as long as you satisfied Shula, everything good.
We satisfied Coach Shula, and he and the other team wasted two people on him. And see, and the deal is that in the book, Mike refers to.
Yeah, you can, please don't call his name.
No, I'm not gonna call his name. But I mean, when you read the book, it's very funny, but it is truthful. And I kid you not, this guy, he just couldn't play, and I for the life of me, I don't know how he got drafted in the first round to the Dolphins.
Well, I mean, look, we see that quite a bit. Kids go first round because they have done certain things in college, and that doesn't mean they can't really play the game.
Oh, this guy couldn't really play the game.
Right. And that just leads to my next question, because first of all, before I get to that, because you're from East St. Louis. People that don't know Kerry's from East St. Louis.
Yes. And
East St. Louis is known for some of the, when I tell you,
a tough area.
Not only a tough area, Kerry. Look, they produce some of the best athletes.
Oh yeah, I grew up with Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Oh, look, and I was just going over the thing. I said, people don't realize her brother was
Triple jump.
was an Olympian
Olympic.
himself.
He got second place in the Olympics.
But
Triple
they,
jump.
they don't even realize that he was that good because of his sister. I
Yes.
tell people, I was telling.
Well, actually, she was that good because of him, because he was older.
Oh, you're right. But me and Brian, we're known because of our sisters, so I know how
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
how to go.
That
I know how
is-
to go. But you also, Brian Cox. People don't realize Brian Cox was mean. That was the meanest guy I've ever met. Gary. Come on, let's.
Brian Cox was if I need a teammate, I want a teammate on my team. Brian Cox is that guy.
Yeah, because like I said, he was much like myself.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna tell you the truth.
Exactly.
And you need people like that. If he's gonna go in the trenches with you, you need that guy to say, I ain't getting in the foxhole with him. Man, he gonna get us all killed.
No.
And see that's the problem. And I always have to tell people about today's game.
Yes.
With being politically correct all the time and trying to keep people's feelings in check.
Yeah.
About, well, can he play? Can he not? Look, that's why I appreciate older guys like ourselves,
Yeah.
because if you can't play, bro, I don't even want you on the field with me. I'm sorry. I've been in games where I've called timeout. Get him out of here. I don't care what he got to go.
Yeah.
And when you do stuff like that, coaches start to respect you because now you, like Westhoff said, you know talent and what it's going to take to win.
Yes.
And so you become that player's coach. You're his second, set of eyes.
Oh yes.
And so I want to touch on a little bit before we go to commercial break. We were talking before we went on air about what's going on just in today's game.
Yeah.
And how a lot of these young kids, especially African American young men, they leave youth league football, high school football, and they get pigeonholed into certain positions. We were talking about the quarterback position.
Of course. Yes.
Okay? And people don't realize nobody ever wanted Lamar Jackson to be a quarterback.
No, not at all. I mean, they lumped Lamar Jackson in that category where it was like he's a black male. He can throw the ball, but he can run the ball, but he's just not at that quarterback level. I didn't see that in Lamar Jackson. I mean, I tell you, if I was the first pick of the draft and I needed a quarterback, I would have chosen Lamar Jackson at that time. And the reason why I would have is because I watched his throws. I mean, I saw him make throws across the middle, over, and as a defensive back, I see those throws, and could a defensive back make that play?
Right.
His throws, no. And the reason why a defensive back couldn't make that play because he had perfect, throws. And I when I watched him every game, I'm like, this guy is good.
See, and you're like me. I tell people when I look at any position, right now the most high-profile position in the National Football League is the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so when we look at a kid's body of work over a 3, maybe 4-year span while they're in college, most of those guys, they make all the accurate throws. They're athletes, so they're not pigeonholed to stay in the pocket. They can make plays with their legs, but yet they don't still come out with that notoriety that other quarterbacks do.
Yes.
And the first thing they say is what?
Well, he's black.
You know what I mean?
black.
Well, he's an athlete, so
And
let's move him to
and he's-
receiver.
And he's black.
Yeah.
And we're going to, like you said, they want to move him to a receiver. And that's what they wanted with Lamar Jackson. But with him, I saw something that was really special. And I'm glad that he had the year that he had. And he he sit back and he just told the people, say, listen, this is who I am. This is what I'm gonna do. And oh, by the way, I can pass. I can pass too. And his footwork is unbelievable. I mean, I've seen some of the things he did. When he run, I tell you the person that he remind me of. and you know who he is. Barry Sanders. Yeah. I tell you something right now. Back in '91, we played you guys. The one thing I was saying, man, y'all, you guys better, I tell you what, man, you guys better corral him, man, because I tell you something right now. I don't want to look like a fool on film.
But 40 years later, you still ain't tackling him.
Yeah, I say, you guys better go. You better put a hand on him. You better tackle him, because I tell you what, I don't want to look like no fool. I've seen film where we sit back, just the defensive backs, we watch Barry, in some games, and we're figuring, well, how are we going to stop this guy? And we sit back and we looked at it and we go like, oh, run that back again. I mean, we had to run it back at least 7 to 8 times, and we still didn't get it. How he made that move and how he got out of that position.
He was something special. But we're going to come back after commercial break. We're going to take some calls from the callers. You can call in and talk with myself and Kerry Glenn at 888-565-1470. Call in, have a chat with myself and Kerry Glenn. We'll be back after commercial break.
Zodiac Vodka is an American-made, all-natural, gluten-free potato vodka. Only 2% of vodka is made from potatoes. We use regionally grown potatoes and water from the Snake River aquifer. We start with the best agriculture to make a superior product. It is rapidly growing as a bartender's choice drink. Go to ZodiacSpirits.com to find your cocktail. Remember, must be 21 years or older. Drink responsibly. ZodiacSpirits.com.
His abilities as a dry cleaner are so undeniable, Dry Clean Only tags have his phone number printed on the back. Stubborn stains sometimes call him late at night just to apologize. His pickup and delivery service is so fast, his vans have pit crews. He is the most interesting dry cleaner in the world.
You don't always dry clean, but when you do, use A&T Dry Cleaners. Stay dirty, my friends.
Welcome back to the studios of the 2-Minute Warning with your host, Benny Blades. Mr. Blades, are you ready?
Yes, welcome back. I'm your host, Benny Blades, and like I said, I'm here talking to Kerry Glenn. We're going to take a couple of questions now. What's the first question?
The first question is from Susan Smith out in Wellington. What do you, and this goes to Kerry, what do you think of Jamal Adams asking for a trade?
Well, I think that players should just stay with the team. I don't think you should be switching from team to team just because you disagree. It's back in the day, Benny, when we played, we just get out there and play.
Right.
And and it's like, hey, we're gonna win with who we win with. Either you're with us or you're not with us.
And that's the thing nowadays. I question: are they playing for the love of the money, or are they playing for the respect and the love of the game? And we can say that because the money has gotten so out of hand to where the kids nowadays, if they don't agree with a coach, they demand a trade.
Yeah, I want to trade. Yeah, of course. Also too, is that back in the day when we played, it was.
That means we're talking a little bit too much. This is our famous flag on the play, because our producers say we get a little bit too loquacious. We're talking a little bit too much. And we have 2 minutes to answer every question. Next question. Next question.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I'd like to know, what have both of you done together at a foundation event or for other foundations that you both have done together?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. The first time I met Kerry, I was saying off air, is we was at a John Offerdahl event out in Markham Park, out in Weston, and I had no idea Kerry Glenn could cook.
Yes, I can cook. Yes, that's one of my second passion is cooking.
There's a caller on the phone. You got a caller.
All right.
Rudy.
Next question, please. Mr. Rudy, how can we answer your question?
Hi, my question is for Kerry. Kerry, you played for a couple of legends, at least a couple of legends, in Coach Holtz and Coach Shula. What are the differences in their coaching styles that you remember?
And Coach Shula. Well, I just want to say this. Coach Shula was one of my favorite. I came to Miami because of Coach Shula and Dan Marino. I played for Coach Holtz my senior year. Coach Holtz and I had a long kind of relationship standing from high school. I think Coach Shula was a much better coach. If I needed to go to someone to talk to, Coach Shula was the man. I would go to him and say what I had to say. And people they didn't really understand Coach Shula's that way. They think he's like a tough guy, but no, he's a guy you can go in and joke with him. And he would joke with the guys in the locker room and stuff like that. So, Coach Holtz, the one thing I can say about Coach Holtz is this, and I know you may not, this is going to kind of, Coach Holtz is a person he's like, how can I say this? More like a backstabber. That's the type of person.
Yeah, you got to call it the way it is.
That's the type he was. Coach Holtz made me drop from a second round draft pick to a 10th round draft pick in the draft. And I found that out 5 years later when I was in a league, and one of my scouts that was at my draft party told me that Coach Holtz was telling all the scouts that I wasn't the guy to look at. You know, me as a guy being in college, if you don't have anything to say good about your player, don't say anything at all. And Coach Holtz, what he did that day, I was like, no, I couldn't believe it, but it was done, and he did it. And Coach Shula is in a different stratosphere when you're looking at coaches.
Yeah. Now, before we go.
You gotta go back to the last question.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We'll finish the last question. But that was a tremendous event that I met, Kerry at the Offerdahl event. And like I said, I had no idea he could cook. But if anybody wants to challenge Kerry in a cook-off,
come on.
That's what he does. You can call, you can send me your challenge, and I will definitely get it over to him. He doesn't mind challenging people when it comes to cooking. Me, on the other hand, I ain't cooking nothing. I'm sorry, I'm a big guy. I ain't cooking nothing. But on my way in here, Kerry, before we have to go, on my way in here, 4 years ago, there was a young man that got ridiculed in the public eye for taking a silent stance of what the nation is going through right now. Colin Kaepernick was crucified by all those billionaire owners and our president, saying that he should never, ever, ever play again in the National Football League. He's disgracing the National Football League. He's making a mockery of it. But now the man just tweeted probably about an hour ago that Colin Kaepernick should get a second chance in the National Football League. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I agree with you. I think that he was blackballed, from the league, and I'm anxious to see how the NFL is going to handle this, from going forward, because it's going to be. And one thing I didn't like when Roger Goodell, he was sitting back and he was apologizing to Kaepernick and saying he never should have done that. But when you say something like that, you need to bring that man in front of you, and you sit there and you look him in the eye and you tell him, "Hey, I made a mistake."
Right.
And he couldn't even look the camera in the eye. And that's the most impelling part to me is that you couldn't look in the camera and send this message in the camera to Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
That doesn't. I mean, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm very anxious because you get a lot of people saying, "Well, Benny, they paid him for his time out of the inaction," and I tell people, look, no, I don't care if they gave him $8 million. It wasn't enough. He was at the highlight of his career, and
Call it Jane. Call it Jane.
Oh, we have another call on the line. Okay, go ahead. This is Benny.
What are your thoughts? Well, I agree with you. I think that in this blackball.
Okay, can you turn the computer down? We can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Miss Jane.
Okay.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Oh, I'm sorry. This one's for Benny. I just wanted since I started talking about some more current players, and even though we love hearing about the old stuff, is what does he think about the Lions' first pick, the defensive back, Okudah?
Look, I like that pick. Okudah, in my opinion, is gonna be one of those cornerbacks that we lost Darius Slay. Okudah, in my opinion, he's gonna take one half of the field away. He reminds me of an old school Deion Sanders because he doesn't mind getting up, getting beat a few times, but he's gonna challenge that receiver to the best of his ability. And so that to me, that's a great acquisition for the Detroit Lions.
Awesome. That sounds great. And yes, we will miss Slay.
Yes. All right. I'm sorry that is our show for today, but I have a new member of the Black Shiraz Club. Like I said, I was the original Black Shiraz. See, we go together hand in hand. Me and this nice wine bottle. But now, Kerry Glean is going to join the Black Shiraz Club.
Yes.
And he's going to take the Black Shiraz Wine Club to the Northern Hemisphere. So, welcome him.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And this will be, I would drink this with,
well, some of the meals you cook. See, but Kerry's never invited me over for a meal, but we're gonna work on that right now.
I will. I tell you what, when I get back in town, I will invite you and your wife over.
Well, appreciate that.
And I tell you what, and I will cook a meal, and you guys are gonna love it.
I appreciate that.
And we can and we will have one.
We're gonna open up the Black Shiraz over at Kerry's house.
Yes, you will.
All right, and thank you. And next week, join us again next week as my fellow brother Donnell Bennett will be on the show with me. And like they say, you can't change the world until you change yourself. Please do so. Enjoy yourself and stay safe. Till next week. See you later.
Anton Steinhardt, founder of Wines for Humanity, is proud to team with Black Shiraz partner and former NFL star Benny Blades to assist in his Benny Blades 36 Foundation in helping children with special needs. Go to winesforhumanity.com, look for the 20% off wine specials, make your selection, and use the code BB36F20. Please join the team through winesforhumanity.com or call Dana Lisa Torres at 561-445-7066. Thank you.
You've been listening to the 2-Minute Warning with Benny Blades. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Tune in again next week for our next episode. You can follow the 2-Minute Warning on Benny Blades' Facebook page and share it with your friends. Mr. Blades, get ready.